Today's June 13th. We made about $1,250 today, and I'm about to walk you guys through on how that happened. Let me walk you guys through. As you can see, these are the trades right here, and let me pull up my review. Okay, so I've been doing some things a little bit differently starting today. So I have a free reset from Top Step, and then on top of that, our evaluation rebill is the 5th of July, and that's going to be 2 weeks roughly away, or maybe a little more. I'm thinking that if we keep trading 2 contracts on this evaluation, we might make it in time. We could definitely, but I would rather up my size and try to pass it before the next rebuild. So that's what we're doing, because like the last 2 weeks have been pretty uneventful is what I'm saying. So I'm deciding that I'm going to up our contract sizing to 4, and we will be typically risking around $800 per trade, which will give us about 5 attempts at a max loss before we blow our evaluate. But anyway, so today we traded with 4 contracts. Now I'm gonna walk you through what today was like. So this is basically what we saw today. So we're in a range from Wednesday after CPI. But yeah, so what we wanted to do today was we wanted to play shorts at the top of range, and we wanted to get long at the bottom of the range. So that was our general plan, generally speaking. Now I had my levels a little bit messed up today. So I had my level at 21 here, right here, which came from this little area. Wasn't the best level to choose. I should have went down to this 16 area. Pre-market, we come up into our top of range and obviously sold off. So we're kind of figuring out what we're doing here pre-market, and then we get a nice sell-off that I didn't take anything on down here until we get to I'm mistaken. So today we took a pre-market trade. This was just kind of like we were a little too excited about. But I don't know if anyone here registered for the Bitcoin competition with Bookmap, but the strategy I was using with Bookmap, I was in first or second place until the last day, which I left a position open on CPI that blew my shit. So I low-key could have won that competition if I didn't have my position go into CPI, which I was fully gambling that. Bad idea, but whatever. So I kind of started paying more attention to the CVD and noticed that there will be divergences occasionally. So this isn't the best divergence, but basically what we see here is we see CVD making an equal low right here, while price comes down and makes a lower low. So when this happens, you can I don't want to say you can expect, but I found that a lot of times price will move up after there's a divergence like this in the CVD. This isn't the best one, like I said, but today I decided to try a pre-market, and that's what this trade is. So bad trade. It is what it is. We made $50 on it or something. Basically stopped out for break even. I do want to talk about this sell-off right here that I found this on. So this is what I saw. I saw price making a higher low while the CVD is making a lower low, which would be a divergence, as you can see. And when this happens, I read it as selling is stepping into the market. So there's that, and then directly after that, CVD is making a lower high and price is making a higher high. So this is what I would call a bearish divergence, and it was kind of a hint that there was potential for a sell-off to occur. Now at this point in time, the VIX was at, I believe, minus 1.5% roughly. So VIX was not in favor of a sell-off yet, but this was a hint at it. I didn't take it short. I just noticed it and screenshotted it because it did catch my eye. That resulted in a 25-point sell-off roughly, and there was no divergence on the CVD until we get down to this area, roughly 420, 16 area. And what I noticed is it's kind of harder to see. This is a smaller one right here, but CVD is kind of making an equal low kind of thing right here. Price selling off. We see a lower high from previous high, higher high, roughly right here. So this was just a red flag if you were in a short, that this could be a good place to exit the short position if you took it. Basically what happens is we kind of consolidate. We're ranging right here for a little bit, and I prematurely entered along here because one, we were at the bottom of this range and I already knew that I was wanting to play longs here. And then on top of that, we see another type of, not the craziest divergence again, but as you can see, CVD starting to trend upward right here and make a higher low. And you see price basically staying neutral, which I read this as buying is potentially stepping in. Now, this is not where I entered. I actually entered before this, and I entered, well, we can just check the time. So I entered one long at 28, got stopped out for break even, and then I entered another long at 9:49, which is the one that ended up playing out. Now, like I said, I entered prematurely. I should have had my level down at 16, and that would have allowed me to get a way better entry on it, but that was a mistake I made. So at this point, VIX is plus 1.5% roughly out of our favor. This is obviously a counter momentum trade we're taking right here. I take it, and I was willing to let it go. I was sitting through, well, you can just see it. I'll just pull it up for you. I have the live trade right here. So here's the first position right here. Entering it long right here. I end up going up a good amount. Stop out for break even. And then we enter again right here. And like I said, premature entry. I had my levels kind of messed up. But anyway, so I was fully like, my mindset at this point was, since I have a free reset, I was like, I'm just going to let this one ride and not have my stop at my normal area of 4 points. I wanted to let it just go, and if it went to go out of the range, then I was gonna just let my account basically just get shit on. So yeah, not a good habit to build, but I mean, that's just my mindset right now because I have a free reset, and we're like in the middle of the month. So that was my mindset. I'm trading 4 contracts, and I'll let this go for you guys. So as you can see, we go down about 116 ticks. And I believe this was the bottom right here. So if we were having our levels at the right place, we could have potentially caught an entry right there or around there. And then as you can see, buying steps in a second here. Right here. So this is the divergence I was mentioning before. We have this equal low scenario happening here while CVD is trending up. I just view that as buying, stepping in here. And then following that, we buy up into this area, which then you can find offers appearing up here. And we kind of go up there and test it once. We didn't trade through it. Go up again, don't trade through it. And we're just hanging out here. And I guess it was right here. So after the second test, I was just like not liking how we weren't trading through it after being up there for so long. So I just decided to take the position off. And that actually ended up being the best move at that point because, as you can see here, we topped out at about 29, which I sold out at 28, and then we sell off immediately. So honestly, couldn't have timed that one, or couldn't have chose a better place to exit that. Could have chose the better place to enter that. But yeah, it is what it is basically for today. So moving forward, we will be trading 4 contracts instead of 2, and we will be taking only the highest quality. If any of you guys that trade order flow, pay attention to the CVD and pay attention to divergences with price and the CVD, please let me know in the comments. I don't like putting too much emphasis on certain context clues within the market, because obviously just because one thing happens doesn't mean something else is going to happen 100% of the time. I do feel like that CVD can be very helpful in the divergences are valid in a lot of times. But like for an instance like this, where we're chopping around and kind of like tug of warring right now with each other, buyers and sellers, I think that you can kind of get caught up in like multiple divergences happening in this range, and I think that can be misleading. But whenever it's like a blatant divergence, like I showed you guys for that short setup right here, like this one is just blatant in my face to me. So as you can see, 15 minutes apart from each other, so we're not zoomed in too crazy. You find the CVD recent high, price recent high, and then we're clearly above that high right here, right? Clearly above that, and on the CVD we're clearly below that. So that is just like in my face, and I do notice smaller divergences that happen, and instead of using those as entry points, I would rather use those as red flags if I'm in a position to look for an exit point. But I mean, like I said, I don't want to use this as my only indication to take an entry or exit a position. I do think it works, and I'm going to continue to pay attention to that. So we'll see how that goes in the future. But $400 below break even on this account. But with 4 contracts, our trades will now be $2,400 profits, and we only need to win about 4 of those roughly to pass our evaluation. So hoping for the next 2 weeks we can maintain discipline and find good entries and good setups, and hopefully get past our evals in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And if you guys are following along, I appreciate you guys a lot. I've already connected with a few of you guys on Instagram and stuff, and few of you guys like will hit each other up after sessions, just check in with each other. I love that. I don't know if I mentioned it on YouTube yet, but on Shorts I was saying how out of everyone I've met, which has been a lot of people in my life, I literally am the only person who trades. I'm the only person who trades in general that I know. So I'm looking for more people that like to trade and the trade order flow specifically, just to chop it up with after sessions, talk about good things, bad things, etc. If that's you, if you want to chop it up with me, hit me up on my Instagram, my DMs. Like I said, I got a few of you guys already. Happy to connect with you guys. It's awesome. But yeah, that'll do it for this video, and stay tuned for the next one.